everybody, and welcome.
Hi.
This is my after party.
We're going live at 11 o'clock for Anchor Watch.
Okay, get out of here. All right, guys, so Jason is not only trying to steal my show, it's my show. Yes, very spot on. Not trying to do a merch plug there, but since you guys gave it to me, he was telling me right before, Adam, I'm going to take your thing that you stole from Andy Cohen and do a drinking game on here. And I'm like, I stole that first, you bitch. But hey guys, welcome back to the Real Housewives of New Jersey after party on our messy little Hellion sister channel Up and Adam 2. Yes, like Jason said, when he popped his big ass head in here, he is going live right after this for Anchor Watch. So let's get to it.
You guys hit that like button.
Okay. I just actually broke a glass because we took a trip to Ireland on the Real Housewives of New Jersey and I thought I was in Greece. So, oppa!
That's not how that went.
Okay.
That is not how that went. Although seeing Ireland, and I agree with everyone in the chat, guys, hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Ireland is beautiful and amazing. And to see these ladies over there, I feel like they might fit right in. But that's not how we start tonight. So should we just start?
Yeah, okay, let's start. Wait, by the way, happy BravoCon Day.
Happy freaking BravoCon Day. Who's going? Let us know in the live chat.
Oh my God, let us know in the live chat. Yes.
We need to know.
Yes, I am so excited. We have a lot of fun things planned for BravoCon. Cannot wait to share some announcements. It's going to be one hell of a time.
Yes. Yes. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Marisol says it's your show. Stay in your lane. Actually, this is my channel. That's funny. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Actually, the second channel is my channel.
Okay, get on with it.
I'm just kidding, Marisol. I hope we see you at BravoCon. Okay, here we go.
Are you having a cocky, Marisol?
Melissa, wrong Marisol.
I'm just kidding.
No, we love Marisol. Okay, here we go. Melissa is hosting Danielle's Bougie Kids pop-up at Envy, and Jennifer Aydin shows up.
Yep.
And she asked Melissa if it was okay that her and Dolores, if it was okay that they were bridesmaids. Does it look like she's fishing or rubbing it in? Because we all know Jen Aydin when it comes to this.
Oh, especially once we find out what information she thinks that she's sitting on. Yeah, Jennifer Aydin is absolutely fishing. She's not asking Melissa out of being a nice friend. Last season, she just called her husband a bitch boy. She literally, her and Melissa put hands on each other. No, she's not doing it out of, oh, I'm concerned. Are you really okay with us being Teresa's bridesmaids and you not? Even though, yeah, she's rubbing dirt in. She knows that her mother wasn't invited. Now she knows that she's not a bridesmaid. She knows that Melissa's kids are not in the wedding. 1,000,000%. She came there like it reminds me of the Lizzie McGuire movie, a spineless jellyfish with a hidden agenda.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yep.
Okay, so Danielle also mentions that Rachel is a rat. This rat word is coming up a lot.
This is some mob wife shit.
It really is. And they take it very seriously, so I understand that. But but she says she's a rat for taking the conversation about Margaret and running and telling her. What do you think your thoughts are on that? Like, do you think that Rachel is a rat, or do you think that it was just taken out of context?
I feel like this is one of those, somebody call PETA because we're beating a dead horse. Yes, she took the information back. Like she said, she did not enhance it. I play devil's advocate here. I see both sides. I see Danielle's side because it's like we were having a private conversation with 4 cameras around and it wasn't supposed to get back to Margaret. But then like Ricky Cornish said, who's going to be joining us tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern on the main channel for our real recap, he made a great point. It's like, cameras are on and that this conversation is either going to come out during the season as a storyline or at the reunion. So Rachel just pretty much expedited the process and brought the information to Margaret. I'm not mad at Rachel for it.
I mean, yeah.
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 Yes.
Yes.
Do you have a drinking game for them?
Do we have no, tonight is not a drinking night. Is it a drinking night?
I mean, they're probably lit.
Who? The 100 people in the room who are hitting the like button right now. Do you guys have drinks?
Yes, they have drinks. It's an after party.
It's an after party.
You don't have to be sober Sally with me.
That's true. Okay, listen. Oh, Marisol, thank you so much for the super chat, Marisol. Actually, our name means Mar, C-I, and Sol. At least mine does. I'm not sure about Marisol. Yeah, that's a beautiful name. It's like Marisol, like, right? Sea and sun.
Jason's means asshole in French.
Girl, it's Greek, but that's okay. Thank you, Marisol, for the super chat.
Thank you, Marisol.
Appreciate you. All right, so here we go. We see Dolores is entertaining Paul's parents, right?
Right.
She loves them, which I love them. It's so funny to watch this interaction.
They're great.
And she says that for Valentine's Day, he took her to a castle, and this is how she wants to introduce the ladies to Ireland, which this is amazing because there are so many castles in Ireland. We had a friend, Sinead, who worked in a castle in Ireland, a beautiful one.
Yeah.
And there are lots of ones that are available to like go to like this. And
or buy.
She was just trying to get some advice. What was the best advice you think that she gave?
The best advice that I think that the parents, Paul's parents and Paul gave, I thought this was really interesting. He said, be careful because when you go around a bunch of Irish people and you're in a crowd, if you're dancing, they'll dance with you. If you're fighting, they'll fight with you. So don't get the whole crowd activated in the wrong way. I thought that was really funny. It reminds me of that like Beauty and the Beast where everybody starts beating the hell out of each other and there's like a big bar fight. Or if you just want to see that, if you go down the street in our local neighborhood, there's plenty of bars where it's just like gets popped off.
Probably.
Yeah, definitely. Those little biker bars pop off.
Where is there a biker bar?
Next to the strip club. Ass Pops.
Oh, I do know where the strip club is. Not because I go, but
you were
there with Pops.
You were there a month ago.
Okay. That was not a month ago. That was 2 months ago. I need you to get your story straight. Okay, Jennifer Aiden. Speaking of, Jen is telling Bill, we move into this like kind of intimate conversation in their bedroom, Jen and Bill Aiden, that he needs to be more present with the kids and not spending time in the pool house.
Fair.
He responds with, why shouldn't I be my true self? And I'm not really sure what that means, but like, how did you take that?
Well, Bill Aiden Sandoval, you sound like a fool. What do you mean be your true self? Like, I thought Jennifer, even what she said, it came off like very like, what? She's like, you lost your true self the minute you got married. Okay, that's not necessarily true, but she's asking you to be present. Just because you are the one facilitating the sperm to the egg does not mean that your job stops there, Bill. And just because you work doesn't mean that you don't have to be a parent. So I don't understand Bill being like, oh, so now I have to lose a part of myself because I don't get to sit. What the fuck is in this pool house? I want to know what's in the pool house.
Shouldn't you find your true self within the marriage? You know what I mean?
Like, I want you to build me a pool house so I can go find my true self in there. Like, is there a chapel in that true?
Get me a house with a pool.
Is there?
We'll talk about the pool house.
Is there a chapel in the pool house? Is there the Turkish coffee reader hiding in there? What the fuck is in the pool house? That's what I want to know.
So a lot of people in the chat are saying that Bill looks like he's checked out or is very self-centered or checked out.
But both.
Do you feel like he is?
Yes.
Do you feel like there's any hope for these two to come back to? Because I feel like Bill's pretty patient. Yes, he was the one who made mistakes, right?
I feel like she's patient. He doesn't have a right or a leg to stand on.
No,
your ass is hiding in the pool house and you cheated on your wife. And she is trying to have an open line of communication. She's not holding this against you. And she is raising your children.
Not Bill Sandoval.
Yes, she gets to have, Bill. Yes, Henny. Bill Sandoval. She has this lavish lifestyle. Yes, but she's popped out an entire football and cheerleading team worth of kids. So yes, I feel like she also deserves this. And to be fair, I also don't know if it's partially because he's clamming with the cameras in his face, because you guys have to remember, when they're having this conversation, it's not an intimate conversation. There's two producers hiding behind the wall with iPads who are watching the whole thing play out. There are two cameramen. There's one person holding over a boom mic. There's a lot of people in this intimate conversation, and maybe for him, he's not going to open up and be comfortable in a conversation like this with cameras around.
Listen, 105 in the room, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't done so. Lots of back and forth here. Like, a lot of people are on Jennifer's side, which I understand. And then Mary Stewart said, Bill looks like he's been held prisoner. He'll be gone soon.
I want to know still what is in the pool house. What is in the pool house that is so, like, is it just like, I feel like it's some weird shit going on in the pool house. I feel like there's like a bottle of lotion on the side and there's some weird movies going on. It's just weird. Why are you hiding in the pool house? I think it's so weird. It's so weird to me.
It is strange. If I disappeared into a pool house for 5 hours, I'm sure you'd wonder where I was.
I would change the locks and I would leave your ass there.
Interesting. Okay, so here we go. We're going to Ireland, which this is great. I love Ireland, A. B, these ladies in Ireland, I'm going to love even more. But they arrive in Ireland and they're staying in a 400-year castle, 9 bedrooms, I think 7 bathrooms or whatever. It looks amazing. They think it's haunted. But if they think that is haunted, you should go to the rest of Europe. But
well, also I mean, I think it's really cool. I think it's haunted or historic. Choose your
it's
ages.
historic. It's historic.
Choose your ages.
All right, I love this room decision and how this went and how everyone is just really happy with their rooms. If you could choose what room you would stay in, which room would it be? Because I feel like I love Jen Aiden's more than I did Dolores's.
Why? Because the bathroom?
Hell yes.
Yeah. No, probably Jennifer Aiden's, honestly. But I also thought that this was great how Dolores was like, listen, I never get a good room. I never argue about a room. But since I put this trip together, I am going to take the best room. And Teresa getting married, she gets the second best room. Because normally when the person who is hosting, if they try to just come in and take the best room, we've seen on Housewives before where they get looked at where it's like, that is so rude. And I don't know why it would be rude, because if I'm the one because we have to remember too, it's not like they're paying for this trip. Production is paying for it. And what happens is all of the ladies at the beginning of the year, production goes around to each one and they ask them, if you could be picked for the cast trip, where would you want to go? And then they all get to put in like a little bid for it. And then production chooses which place they go to. So Dolores got the pick, which means production is paying, but it's still essentially her trip that she's organizing. So yes, she should get the room.
Okay, fast forward. I'm going to ask you a question later because I see a lot of you talking about how Rick and Kelly just met up with Teresa and Louis in St. Bart's and Heather McDonald. I don't think they expected to meet up with Teresa and Louis, but
I don't think so.
We'll talk about that at the end because I have a question for you about that. Okay. So now the ladies, they're all like, they're good. They sit down for lunch. You know what's really crazy is I always see that Jen and Margaret make strides and then quickly like retreat from making those strides. Do you feel that that is accurate?
I feel like they're both wordsmiths. They're witty as hell. They're quick as hell. And
they're both too quick.
I think they're very similar with how they are with comeback. They're quick and they're to the bone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they sit down for lunch and Dolores tries to tell the women, look, we're not in Jersey anymore. All right. And you have to behave differently here, especially after the whole coffee reader incident, I mean, come on. It was weird. Like Jen even admits that she like drunkenly fed the coffee reader information, which I feel was like so plainly obvious, right?
We knew this. I mean, there were keywords, there were trigger words, and now come to find out that Jennifer Aiden, she admitted that she likes to smoke her weed at night when her kids go to bed. We know she loves a good cocktail. We know she loves tequila. So I feel like she was just dabbling in a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And then she got a little bit too word happy with the Turkish coffee reader. And the Turkish coffee reader knows that she's about to be on national television. So she's like, don't make me look like an asshole. Make me look like I know what I'm doing.
Look like we're not going to call you for a reading. Right?
Well, I don't think that was her intentions. It's just like, these women are smart. So it's like, you're not pulling one over on them. And the Turkish reader, come on, girl. Like even the ones on the Santa Monica Pier, if you feed them shit, they're not going to just give all the words. It's like plagiarism. Rearrange the words. Rearrange the words, you Turkish coffee reader. I wanted to believe in you. Now I feel bamboozled. That's why, unless it's Gina Marie, the spiritual medium from like season, I don't know, but I still love her. She's amazing.
She was amazing.
Then I'm not buying shit.
We actually got a reading from her. I think you've said that before, but that was amazing. Okay, so of course the big L word, and I'm not talking about the L word that we,
love is
Showtime or HBO, but the L word gets brought up. Laura gets brought up, and Danielle kind of wants to know what it is that Margaret seems so upset about. Why do you think that is? I mean, we see Jennifer and Danielle have a conversation later, but just...
I think, honestly, I don't think it's... First of all, I feel like what Margaret is getting upset here is you have somebody... Margaret, you have to remember, because I don't know Laura's side of the story. I know that Laura, like, I believe she wanted to come on the channel, right? Yeah. And we said no to Laura because we have good relationships with all the, like the cast members. So for Laura, I think that she was...
But also when someone doesn't get chosen to be on the show, you don't know what their intention is.
No, but she's like a woman scorned. I feel like and I'm not trying to be nasty about this, but I feel like she's dangerous in the sense that Margaret tried to get her on the show for 2 seasons. She didn't get picked for the show. Margaret is not a part of casting. So that is a Laura problem. That is not a Margaret problem. And because you didn't get picked for the show, now it's like I believe she feels like Margaret kind of stopped that cast selection process, which if Laura knew what she was talking about, then she would know that the cast members have nothing to do with casting. Like they don't get a say so. Not even Teresa right now, if she wanted Joe off the show. I don't know if she would have the pull or not. So I feel like this is a woman who really has built something up in her head. And now she feels like Margaret sabotaged her and she's willing to get even. And I think that Margaret looks at her like, I grew up with this woman. She was in my home. I invited her to holidays. I had her around my family, around my kids. And then you're going to pull this shit on me? Like, yes, I 100% would be pissed off too. I feel like people like that suck.
I mean, okay, listen. So really quick, not to sidetrack because I want to stay on this, but even in the chat, people are like, Margaret is upset because she's afraid. And then another person says, I don't trust anything Laura says. So this is like this is Jersey, right? I feel like it's a 50-50 down the middle, Teresa, Melissa.
But let me say,
Margaret, Jen.
I just want to add in here real quick. I don't know if she's afraid. This is the problem too. When you think that you know somebody and then all of a sudden you allow them in, you bring them around your friends, you bring them around your family, you do things with them, you try to give them opportunities, and then they turn their back on you like a fucking snake. And then they all of a sudden make up shit and try to weaponize it against you. And then you're not even fighting you like with fair weapons or fair things because you don't know what they're going to say because they're just going to say whatever they want to say, which doesn't even land because it doesn't make sense because it's not actually fucking true. Then you really don't know what you're going up against because you don't know what you're defending yourself against because they're not actually saying anything that makes sense. Boom.
I'm still trying to, I'm trying to take that in.
Take it in. Swallow that pill. Take that shit to Anchor Watch.
AC, hi from Canada. NB, does Andy hate Melissa or something? You must be watching Watch What Happens Live right now. I don't know what's going on, but usually Melissa and Joe are on Watch What Happens Live a lot, and they have a really good connection. So I'm really curious to go back and watch that if that's what you're talking about. Let us know in the chat.
Yeah, let us know. I'm curious.
Let us know in the chat what's happening on Watch What Happens Live tonight.
I mean, he definitely, I'm sure... I don't think that he hates Melissa, but I think that Teresa is definitely one of his favorite housewives for sure. No, but he has a huge history with Teresa.
That's true.
A very long history.
That's true. Okay, let's move on a little bit. So Jennifer and Danielle, which is kind of like a little camaraderie or friendship I never saw happening. I don't know how you feel about that. But Jennifer tells Danielle that Laura said, after she said, I don't want to bring it up because this just happened to me last season.
It's like her checking up on Melissa about the bridesmaids.
Right,
it's
the
like...
hypocrisy of it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she said, I don't want to mention it, but Laura said Margaret told her Melissa was caught in the back of a car with another guy. And you would think that what that means, but then it was a makeout thing. How does this look for anyone right now? How does this look for Margaret? Because we don't know that Margaret actually knows that. How does this look for Jen telling Danielle that? What's going on here?
Well, I don't know how it looks for Margaret because we haven't heard Margaret address the situation yet. So that is TBD. And for Melissa, it doesn't look any sort of way because Melissa's not aware of this yet. So that, which actually, if you go back and watch my interview with Melissa, she knew that they were that this was going to be planted. And she knew that they were going to wait to bring this out at the finale party before the season even started, which I found to be interesting. If in fact that's true, which I'm not calling Melissa a liar, but we also know that the women from Potomac sat around and talked about how they were going to bring up the paternity of Monique Samuel's son. Right?
This is true.
So we knew that was a storyline that was birthed out of a trip for Andy's baby shower to Los Angeles. So the women do get together and they come up with storylines in order to figure out what the new season's going to look like. You have to remember, this is their real life, but this is also a job and they're making a TV show. And the more relevant and the more bombshells, the more Easter eggs that they add in, the better the season is, the fatter their paycheck. But for Jennifer Aydin, this looks really awful. And I'm going to say this because you're sitting here saying you know how this affected your daughter. You know how this affected your family. You're sitting here talking about how, like, what am I supposed to say? Because of Margaret, because of this woman, my daughter comes to me, or she didn't even come to me. She said she wants to be a love therapist when she wants to be a Broadway star.
And you're not even getting back at the person who brought this to your attention.
No, that makes it shittier,
right?
Because you're literally, but Jennifer Aydin's basis for saying this is because she's saying, I'm trying to show everyone what a snake I feel like Margaret is. However, Margaret didn't go after anybody along the way. And I'm not defending anybody here, but Margaret didn't go after like all of the other women while pointing out Bill's infidelity. You are trying to get to Margaret by using Melissa and Joe as collateral, which looks really shady on you in the same moment after going after Joe last year and also being best friends with Teresa. It's giving sort of old school Jersey vibes where the guy came to the event, Kim D's event or whatever it was, and he was like, Melissa, you used to dance for me. And there were moments where it just seemed so planted. We've seen this so many times in the past, and now it looks like Jennifer Aydin is doing dirty work, and she's absolutely 100% enjoying it, but it's the hypocrisy of it all. You're going to sit here and cry to us about this woman ruining your family and turning your house upside down, but then you're over here trying to do it to another woman. So women supporting women, not.
Not tonight. Not this episode.
Not tonight, neck. Not tonight, ankles.
Okay.
Not
listen,
tonight, Satan.
It's Bachelorette time, and speaking of hypocrisy,
What the bubbies?
I want to jump on this, okay? Because I am Team Teresa and I am Team Melissa. Okay. I love them both.
So you're team too much.
Right. But I also like Jennifer and I like Margaret. This is really hard watching Jersey because I'm team everyone. I really like all the ladies, which is, I know I'm going to get such backlash, but you know, whatever.
I mean, whatever.
But it's like 2 weeks before Teresa's wedding and they're talking about the wedding, the dresses, and then boom, the bridesmaid convo comes up, right? Mm-hmm. And Jennifer Aydin is shading Melissa again as she was an invite of obligation, right? But then also when she brings up her in-law, right? Teresa's in-law, Melissa's mother, not being invited. And Teresa is trying to say, well, if my brother called me or if you let me know, when Melissa says that Teresa is always looking to blame someone else, it really comes off that way on the show, especially in this situation, especially in the preview for next week's episode where she's talking about Antonia in the car. There's always someone else responsible. Now, I agree with Dolores. Get on the phone and call your sister and ask her why and have the conversation. But at the same time, it seems like, why didn't you just invite everyone?
I mean, I get both sides. I think that, like Rachel Fuda said, that she's doubling down on not inviting her in the first place, especially now that she's been made aware of how much that is affecting Melissa and Joe. I get both sides. Teresa's like, it's my wedding and your family has said bad things about me in the past. So even though it was long ago, I forgave. I did not forget. So I get to choose who's at my wedding and I don't want them there. And that's, I think, the foot that she's leaning forward with. And then Melissa, I also see where Melissa's like, okay, you don't want my mother there. But then also stop trying to, well, if Joe would have called, Melissa's like, let's just dead it. Let's have a positive night. You already made it known. You don't want my mother there. My kids are not in your wedding. I was not originally asked to be a bridesmaid. Guys, we're here. We're celebrating your night. Let's celebrate. So I see both sides to it. I could literally easily, if I knew one of them better than the other, I could easily teeter both ways because I see it. I'm not from an Italian family. And honestly, if I didn't get along with, you know, like Jason's brother's girlfriend's mother, I'd be like, she's not fucking coming to my wedding. But I'm not from a very close-knit, like I didn't grow up with those like cultural values and those things. Like my family, even now, like I have cousins that I don't like. And I'm like, get their asses away from me.
Right. But you still would not invite like.
I would not invite them. I don't like them.
Right.
Right. Who?
But you would still invite like your in-law.
I would invite your family, but I like your family.
Yeah. This is true. This is true. This is just like a hard thing for me. And this is the thing with the chat. The chat goes both ways with this. And I understand. It is Teresa's wedding. However, the explanations that we're hearing from Teresa on why things didn't happen seems so ludicrous. Like, it's just so out of left field. It's like, why? Well, if my brother should, it's all about Teresa all the time. I mean, it's her show.
It's her show. By the way, let me just address that really quick so I don't look like an asshole. It's not that I don't like my cousins. Yes, it is. I don't like my cousins, but my cousins made it very apparent that they didn't like Jason and I at a Thanksgiving function after Jason and I tried having multiple conversations to keep peace in the family. And we had our own Melissa Teresa situation and they wanted to be assholes. So what do you do with an asshole? You leave them be. That's all.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Hi, Dad.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm not getting in trouble for that. That's not happening. Okay, but Teresa is doubling down on not inviting Melissa's mother. And
Right.
the thing about the doubling down, and here's the hypocrisy, is because at first she's like, oh, well, if you would have told me, but then she says there's history. Oh, but if you would have told me, but there was history. But if you would have told me, but there was history. So it's like, what is it? When are you going to make a decision on why you didn't invite Melissa's mom?
I mean, I can't believe
you invited half the cast of Dubai. You invited the cast of...
She invited one person from Dubai.
Okay.
So relax with that.
That she never met.
Well, right. Until the week of her wedding.
Right.
But no, I mean, yes.
Which, great invite. Like, I'd invite Chanel anywhere.
No, I agree. But also, it does look fishy. Like, when you're saying they said some things about you, like when Teresa's saying that Melissa's mom said some things about her, Jackie Goldschneider, wasn't she at the wedding?
I don't know.
I don't know if she was or not, but Margaret and Teresa have gone head to head multiple times. So it's like, yes, but there are other people who you invited Ramona frickin' Singer to this wedding. Okay. I mean, there are other people who have literally trashed Teresa or that she's gotten in these knockout dragouts with who are going. So if it's a matter of a couple tweets when Melissa's mom, when they were defending her and Joe at the christening, why are we? I mean, you guys have been through so much at this point. I feel like you can let bygones be bygones, and
I agree.
Especially if Melissa's mom had such a great relationship with Teresa's dad. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of special. They share that. I think that this is just. I feel like Melissa's mom right now is used as collateral in an effort to continue to hurt the family. That's how I personally feel. But then again, I'm not in her family, so Teresa would tell me, well, you're wrong, so piss off right now. And I know that's probably exactly what she would say.
I mean, here's the thing about Jersey, right? Like, every time you see Teresa and Melissa get along, Margaret and Jennifer get along, when you see that, you start to love it. And then within 5 minutes of the episode, it is so turned around, and we're back to square one. And you want to root for them to get along, but they always keep us on edge. How long can this last?
Not long, until the reunion. I mean, literally, that's how long it can last. Isn't the reunion this week? The reunion is filming this week.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we have a Real Housewife of New Jersey interview this week as well, guys.
Yeah.
But that will be after the reunion, I believe, because we have her on Friday.
Yes.
I'm not saying who, but we have one of the Real Housewives on Friday from New Jersey. So we'll be posting that probably next week. But no, I'm curious.
It's curious. You know what? I love Jersey. I can't recap it because I'm so invested and I've watched it since like season 1. When I was talking about Rosie earlier, you were like, wait, who?
No,
like, Rosie.
No, that's not how you worded it.
Okay. Well,
that's not how
it might have been a little different, but it's still there. Okay. What are you looking forward to in the next episode? Because we see already the Teresa and Melissa situation that we just saw carry over with. And I have to agree with Melissa here. It's like, okay, now you're blaming Antonia for
I mean,
the cousins not
I
getting
thought about that
along
too,
or
because
not
I'm like, have you
attending.
seen Abby Lee's dance company, Dance Moms? Like, if Antonia really had a dance or not a dance thing, it was a cheer competition.
Right.
Whatever it was, you do have to, when you're a part of a team, you commit to it. If you make an obligation as a team member, I mean, you know this, you're an athlete. You were your own athlete. You weren't a part of a team. Well, yeah, you were. You don't let your team down. You go and you represent. And all of the girls, I'm sure, on this team have different places that they could be. But the whole team is supposed to show up. And that's teaching your kid, if you have obligations or commitments, you fulfill those obligations and commitments. You want to go over and party for the Sweet 16? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, she had an obligation. I don't think that's something to hold against them. And also, Teresa should know that because her daughters are in dance. And she travels for her daughters to do dance things. And I'm wondering, would she cancel her daughter's dance thing for Antonia's Sweet 16? I mean, it's like sometimes I feel like these women fail to put themselves in each other's shoes.
This was very hard because when I was growing up, and like you said, I was an athlete and I competed for the United States. Right? All right. I competed for the United States and we missed, and my family missed so many things that were important to my family because of what I was doing. So, you know, who knows? Who knows?
Selfish.
All right, AC, you said it the best tonight. Come on, people, smash that like button. We have almost 200 in the room. This has been a great conversation. This chat, actually, tonight I've been just following the chat and watching all their opinions.
Did they feel like I was activated?
I don't know if they thought you were activated. They just thought you were cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're cool.
Well, guys, if you want a little bit of a snooze fest, then head on up. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, girl.
Guys, honestly, real quick. I'm so excited. Tomorrow, again, we have the 1 p.m. Eastern full actual Jersey recap with Ricky Cornish, who I absolutely love having on. I cannot wait to meet him in person at BravoCon. We have a lot of things coming up that we're so excited to share, but I hate teasing that shit, and I'm so sorry. But tonight, let's just stay in the positive here. We dropped new BravoCon inspired merch today on upandadamlive.com. Check that out. I switched up the merch shelf under all of the videos for the main channel. And Anchor Watch, Jason and Josh with Captain Sean are going live tonight. Right after this, what time is it?
Right now, it is 10:40. So in 20 minutes, we're going on Anchor Watch on Up and Adam to recap Below Deck Sailing Yacht Season 4. And I have to talk about something tonight, but I haven't even shared that with you. It's kind of weird.
Oh, cliffhanger.
Yeah, cliffhanger.
Okay.
Wendy, thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate you. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
I love these after parties. They're just fun.
Yeah, and guys, also, we're having so much fun putting up clips for you guys on this channel. And then, of course, you know that Jason's going to have his lit Vanderpump Rules night tomorrow night. Did you post the drink?
I did post the drink, and guys, it's really good.
Yeah, it's called a
narcissistic dickery.
A narcissistic dickery. It's named after Tom Sandoval in honor of his Howie Mandel interview today. But also tomorrow's episode is going to be crazy. So we will see you guys soon. Smash that like button, get subscribed. Thank you to our mods. Thank you for our super chats. And let's catch us over on Anchor Watch in 20 minutes.